Well, hello, and it's another day, part 2 on this 2002 GMC pickup truck. I have to apologize for, which was earlier in the day today, when I spent almost 3.5 hours doing the editing so that I could post a video on YouTube. And that is about the average time, the least amount of time that it takes to actually edit and post a video for YouTube. It can go on as high as I've spent over 8 hours of the day doing that, because it was a much longer video. It's probably 2.5 hour video, could have been longer, not realizing it was going to take that long to edit it, but it is what it is. And like I mentioned in that particular video, this one that I just posted, I try to keep them down, and I believe this one that I posted this morning was 50 minutes and 55 seconds, so basically 51 minutes, and that's sometimes what it takes. So I figured I would show, because it didn't show how far I've gotten and the things that I've done, so I want to kind of move along and do that and show you. So I'm going to grab the camera and point out a couple of other things I'm sure that you'll all be interested in seeing. So as you can tell, the door's ready, the fender's almost ready. I know I got to do a little bit of body work there, not very much. This door is ready, and I started moving on to fixing the cutout of the cap. I did mention that it was tough getting this stuff out, so I wanted to make it easier to go in, especially after when there will be fresh paint on there. So I had to go into my kitchen and grab my cheese grater. And normally what I'll do is when I'm going to grate some cheese, I grab that chunk, that Parmesan cheese that comes in a big cube, and I stick it on the vise on my work table, and then I take this cheese grater to it. And I'm just kidding, obviously. This is a tool made for this kind of work. So I took a different grinder here to the sides, because you can tell by where the imprint of where the window laid in, especially over here, you can see it. That would be about the measurement, which appears to be, could be 1/2 inch, 5/8. That would be the perimeter that would be desired all the way around the cap for that window to go in there comfortably and definitely have a lot of ceiling area. So I took this through here to square it up, because there were some high points and I wanted to make them all the same so that it would sit in there, plumb to the truck, and definitely had to clean up the sides and square them up, because that's what was really holding the glass back from coming out. So I took care of that on both sides. And you can see all the fiberglass dust from doing it. I also got the majority of the dent that I showed in the earlier video that was in the tailgate, and tried to do the same thing over here. But once this is cut out, I'm hoping that I can sneak in there, hopefully, and be able to get more. Let's see if I move it like this, more of this out. It's almost there, but I'd like to get more of it out if I can, because I really can't access it here, because I did try to feel it, and there's a inner panel there, so there's no way of getting at it. And the one thing I wanted to point out that I didn't pick up on and didn't see when I was chit-chatting with the client about the truck, and that I noticed yesterday, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but throughout a part of this door, all these little white spots that are all in this section that climbs up towards, the peelment of the clear. And that exactly is what it is. It's little pinheads, sizes of a pinhead, showing up. You can really see it heavy through here. So thinking that all I would have to do is take the 600 DA sander over it, get rid of the shine, do a nice and I had some of that going on the other side, and that's what made me come over here and check this out. So I'm pretty much going to have to get down to the color, get rid of most of the clear so that that issue doesn't come through, and it's even some on the bed of the truck. And it's just a little bit longer to get it done, but it'll get done, and that'll be that part for now. That's why I'm showing what I'm showing. It's moving along. Still didn't get that panel yet. It's only been a couple of days. Maybe they'll shock me. Hopefully they will surprise me. And actually my paint should be getting delivered either today or tomorrow, which I don't need it just yet anyway, but until the next part I go to show, stand by and I'll be back with you. Okay, I'm back. And I'm going to show you how this type of dent puller works. I showed pictures on my Instagram, YouTube page on it stuck to the front fender. So I just got done banging this crease in so that the line would run straight the way it's supposed to. It was pushed out. So only one of these, there's a dent right here, a fairly decent one. So only one will work right here in that spot. So I plan on just sticking that on there and hope for the best. Might take more than once or twice, but the glue gun is plugged in pretty much right behind the camera, and hopefully it'll all work. So let me see. Yep. So when you put the hot glue on the piece, the plastic piece, you got to press it in the area which you're going to need it. And I guess you can just give it a minute and allow it to harden, set up. And it's not right now because what oozed out did not dry yet. So I put extra on there is to hopes that it'll remain on there until I want to take it off. Because of where the dent is, there's a fold, so I don't know if it'll be easier to yank it out or harder. So I guess I'm going to find out. And then the other part, which does not come with the system, but you can buy it, and you can buy something different. Sell a smaller dent puller type part, and I actually have a smaller one, but this particular kit that I have has a hook, and it's what you need. And they actually sell, which looks almost like a hand with 3 fingers that would grab like this, if you can see me. So, but for them, in the meantime, this one has been working because I used it on the front, and now I want to pull this out, being I'm working on this area. You can see that I've gotten this side of the cap ready, the rest of the bed ready, and I started working on the top side of the cap along at the back. So coming around the corner here to get this bottom section sanded and ready, I noticed that I needed to address that. So pretty much what I'm doing, because I didn't show the method in the prior video. I only showed pulling this ugly piece out. So normally you would take a rod that comes in that kit, which is this piece right here. It's got a head, looks like a nail but without the point, and you would put this in there like that, but there's only one part that's going to hang on to it, so I don't really need this. I could just use the hook. And the kit comes with several other pieces. Hopefully you could see this for bigger areas, and glue sticks. I have one sitting in the sun right now getting warmed up in case I need more, but right now this is how it works. Put the hook in there. As you can see, it's attached, and I first pull on it a little bit and see what happens, and then you just start working it. You can tell it's not all the way out yet, but it's getting there. Those pieces of wood that fell out of there I had in behind the fender so that when I was hitting this crease with the hammer and actually a chisel to get it to go in, it made it more solid to where it would go in quicker and I didn't have to beat on it so much. That's why that came out. Being such an area that it's in, I'm not sure if it's out far enough. It doesn't seem like it is over here. So, based off that, I might have to smack it around a little bit more. It's really taking a beating, which is good. This feels a lot better because the dent extended down just past this orange plastic piece, and it seemed most of it is out of it, not all of it. But if I can get at least 90% of it out without going too far with it, what I notice I have to do now is I can hold this, put pull pressure back on this unit here, because this does come out and was like that earlier. I can hold this and maybe tap that in. It's that hammer. I'm going to use this one. Alrighty. It's starting to come off this piece, which is good because I'm ready to take it off to see what's going on. And it is peeling off. Yes. The majority of that came out. Yep. I like it. I'm just going to tap this in some more. It needs to go in some. So that at least gives you an idea on how these plastic pieces work for a dent puller. I really like it. Like I mentioned about the front fender, it definitely saves the body work more so of it. There is body work to do, but nowhere near the amount if you were grinding it and welding those stems on. So I'm going to hang on to the concept of this for any future repairs, but get a little stronger glue sticks because they do sell them, that it would hear a lot better, because there's too many times that, you know, you hit them so many times and then they pop off and you didn't want them to pop off. But that's just the nature of the beast. That's the way it is, but I'm going to stick with them. So I'm going to put you on standby in the meantime so I can finish working that and finish up this bed quarter basically, and then get back up on deck there and do the top of the cap like I've been doing. Yep, up there, get up along there on the top. I've already started, and hopefully by the end of my day today I can have a lot of this at least wrapped around the tailgate and making sure at least halfway or maybe the whole top of the cap done. And tomorrow being Friday, hopefully get the rest of it ready for paint, other than lifting the bed off, setting it back so I can get in there to prep that too. So in the meantime, stand by. Okay, I'm back. This is going to be a little shorty. I'm showing you something. This rod here is bent, and when I was trying to get rid of that dent, as I just previously shown, I knew that that wasn't normal, having that bend in there. And it's not a big deal or anything, not by no means. But as I go to sand down here, I notice that that's dented up. Which, okay, I could fix that real simple. It's not going to take a long time, anywhere between 4 to 7 minutes, and having that back where it belongs. Not that it's really going to change any of the geometry here of all this, but it's just a little thing that I feel as though should be addressed. So I already have one bolt out, which is right there, and I'm about to take the second one out so that I can take this over to the workbench, straighten it out after removing some of this undercoating so it comes off easy enough, and then straighten it out like that. Now there's another attachment right here. Okay, pull that one out. Let's see, let me shine some light on that one. That part might be bigger. Either that, it's the 20 pounds of undercoating on there. Maybe. It's hard to see. Well, you get the gist. I'm going to remove this piece. That piece right there. I'm going to remove that. And then I'm going to straighten out that. And that'll be that. So, to the next little shot, stand by. Okay, all done. Nice and straight. Put back on. Nice and pretty. You can see it, hopefully. And see that? They're straight. Nicely. And those should be straight. So that's that. So if you can see it. And there you go. Alright, to the next one. Well, it's the next day, and I want to show the progress on this 2002 GMC. So the first thing I finished up, I might as well take this off the stand, was the tailgate. I will be retaping that. I put the tape around things like this so that when I'm sanding it, I don't scratch whatever is on there. The same thing with the pull handle. I'll be taking this, changing it out, and then covering it all. So all this stuff here, other than this right here, I'm just going to put a little filler, not much, when I have the product that I need as far as the type of primer that I'll be using on this truck. Then I'll address it, scratch it up, put some on there. And now this side here, it's already, there was a crease right through here. It's probably around 5 inches long. Started somewhere around here, and ended around here. It could be maybe 6 inches. Doesn't matter, but it's out, looking pretty good. The top of the cap is ready to roll, other than when I end up with the paint products and the primers that I believe I'll be receiving today. I will be addressing some of these areas with that. And let's see here. So that's all done. So my next little feat is finishing the upper half of the cab, and then I'll work my way down to the bottom and address all these spots, which I believe the clear is starting to lift from there. I don't know how in the world or what in the world. I've never seen it before, but I know what it is. So I will be addressing that. So for now, I'm going to put you on standby and go from there. Okay, I'm back. And there's 2 cases of product. From primer to sealer to paint to clear. It's delivered today. Okay, I mentioned those little white dots, and as I'm sanding, I think, ooh, I can see them better. Maybe you'll be able to see them better if you didn't see them before. So all along this line here, and it spreads throughout. I've been sanding and sanding on it. See the discoloration, and maybe you can pick up on it. Try to change the angle a little bit and see if you can see what I'm seeing. It's all through here. If I get closer, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell what this camera will pick up on. And then it goes right into that door there, all through this area, just below the handle, working its way towards the front of the handle. And this recessed area, and all along there. Not that you can see, I can see it all through here. Yeah, it's pretty much all over the door. A little bit right there, so I got to get that spot. Some showed up over here. I knew it was a little bit on the bed. Most of it is out. But I figured I would show that if you can see it, knowing that I started sanding it. So I start off with this type of preparation in order to cut it kind of quick but without leaving deep sand marks. This is a yellow and it's 320. That's brilliant. I like that idea. I dropped it. There it is on the floor. And then I move up to 400. Yeah. Normally I start off with 400 if it's normal. Maybe like towards there it might be a little normal. Then I take a 6.5 inch big buck and I put 600 on it. And then I flat sand it. Yeah, just to make it even nicer, flatter. But that's the last 600 is the final that I sand it with. So in this case, I got to go over this 3 times where normally it would just be twice. So you'd start with 4 and then with 6. But I got to work those things out because even though I never came across this type of silliness before, I don't want it affecting what I'm going to do going forward. So they got to come out. Got to get them out. Get them out. All right, until the next part. The top section over there is done. So that half of the cab now is finished. And as you can see, the bed is finished other than that little spot right there. But I am working on these parts here. And then once these are done, I'll get the primer out that I ordered just to hit some of the spots. If I'm feeling any unlevelness or unevenness because of the sanding, like right over here, I feel a little bit. I'll touch it up with some primer and then flat sand it, and it'll make it even. So, and anywhere that if I went through and got me some little edge of metal showing, I'll do the same thing. Take the black off in there, the rubber, and anything else that should be painted, I'll tape it off first, and then give it a shot of primer, and go from there. And then like areas like this, so it all blends in nice. And then anywhere that I put primer on there, if there's a different color between the red naturally and whatever else is on there, then I'll put that with a sealer for the I go to paint. So that's the plan. And I'm glad at least my surprise came for the paint once. I don't think I'll see the panel today, but maybe Monday. It'll be nice, or Tuesday. But by then, I should have all this ready for paint. Even though they put me out a week, I'm still going to try to have this done in a 2-week time frame as perfect. Yeah. If anything, it might just take another extra day, I imagine. But we'll see what happens. I'll be back, so stand by. Okay, I am back. And there it is. You can see the discolorations. The clear is off. I got those ugly marks off. everywhere it needed to come off. Yep, and as this very moment, all the way around is prepped. So one other detail that will be noted, the cap will be coming off. I will be unbolting the bed of the truck. There's either 6 or 8 bolts, not sure. The 8-foot beds have 8. The 6.5, I think, has 6. So I will have to lift this up, set it back some, so I can get in here and work around and get it all ready for paint. So I think that's going to happen on Monday. I am going to see if I can get the stains out. Yes, the client asked if there's something I could do about it. And I'm going to try some bleach and water. And if it comes out, great. If not, I don't know. It's going to have to remain that way. It's really porous. It's not like it's smooth like this. So being that it's really in there, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So in the meantime, yeah, what else is there? Well, as you can all, I don't know if you noticed, but I also took the weather stripping off the doors on both sides. It actually will go back on faster than it did coming off. I wanted a cleaner finish through here, and as you can see, the mirror's off. I mentioned that prior, but all the inside edges, just the edges, are waiting for me to take them off, but you know, right around just to the edge, not the inside, because the jambs are not being painted. And this will get washed once I'm done sanding behind and things are moved. It'll get one more bath. I'll even end up washing this out again. I removed the fake grass. I don't know what it's going to take to remove these strips, because they're really on there. If I can't get them off without creating a discolor or scratching or making it look ugly, I think we're going to have to put something else back over it. But the client requested if I would pull the green fake grass off, and I did front and back. So, but I tried taking those strips off, and they weren't coming off. So I don't want to scratch nothing, and I'll try a couple of different remedies. If it doesn't work, we'll see what we can gather up to make it look nice. But it is Friday. I do not work on clients' vehicles, not body nor mechanical, on Saturday and Sunday. If I did that, I'd never get anything of my own stuff done. So I don't do it. I don't do it Saturday or Sunday. And from what I'm told, Sunday is a day of rest. But I don't really get to do that because I got enough of my own stuff to do. And it would require more than 2 days to get it done every week. But that's okay. Actually, this video will be posted on Sunday morning. I'll put it out there. But as you can see, it is ready to rock and roll up until the point of some primer, the body work on either side, and that will be the next video, the body work on the left side, driver's side. And I think at that point, I'll also have the cap off. It's not a big deal. It's not heavy. Fiberglass. Some of the weight is off. But never the who. And I noticed as I was doing my thing that there was a rivet missing over here. So I replaced it with a different style. Not a big deal, but this way it'll keep it together. Having one of these caps, once this one goes and the other one goes, before you know it, starts to vibrate loose. This one pops and then the other side pops. It's bad enough that, you know, this is closed. Handles this way, it's closed, and it doesn't work. You know, turn it this way. That's supposed to be open. You know, that makes it what it's open. But that would be closed, and you can still open it. And that is because I guess the structure of this, you'd want to bring it in, but then if you brought both of them in, it wouldn't really follow the bed of the truck, and I really think it's more of a manufacturer deal. But hey, I don't think anything goes back here where the client has to worry about it. Anywho, so you can even see the gap. Oh, this one here, I guess when I put it back on, I can kick this over. Maybe because it got hit, that made this do that. So when I put the cap back on, I will try to line it up better so maybe it'll latch a little better. Well, at least it should, but I'll give it a whirl. So that is it for this video. It is the second part. There will definitely be a third part and most likely a fourth part. And the fourth part will be the paint, because the third part will be the cutting out the panels, finishing out the fender a little bit in the front, separation of the bed, the cap, that work there, and whatever else comes in handy. So until then, try to get something done. I do appreciate people watching. If you give me a like, maybe you new folks would subscribe. I definitely would appreciate it, because it doesn't cost you anything. So if you wouldn't mind, do that for me. And until then, next time, try to get something done. See you next time.